A horrific mass shooting in Boulder, Colorado at a grocery store. And what do they do right away? What do they decide must happen? Politicization. We can't even wait for the basic facts to come out. We can't even know the person's name. And already, I can tell you, last night, all over the place, there were charges flying about how this must be a white supremacist. It must be a Trump supporter. Maybe it was somebody from the Capitol Hill riot. The stuff that was being said and shared, including from people who work in media and are supposed to have some ethics, supposed to have some standards, was appalling. And now today we find out more information and we can see that the people who were wrong or jumped to conclusions, they don't care. It doesn't matter. It felt good for them in the initial stages to bludgeon their political opponents for something that has nothing to do with them. It was gratifying for leftists to use this tragedy as an opportunity to push their agenda. And we keep going through this. It stretches back years. It stretches back to the Obama administration, to Sandy Hook, to terrible incidents, mass shootings before that, to Columbine. And we come to the same Democrat claims that are rooted in emotion and demonizing people who are lawful gun owners, who believe in the Second Amendment to advance a political agenda. Eventually, they don't win. Usually, they back off of this issue because people learn that what they're recommending would not have prevented the incident at hand, and in fact, would do very little, if anything, to help anyone when it comes to gun violence. But ultimately, this is about the underlying philosophy of Democrats wanting to disarm you. All of you, everyone. They do not believe that individuals should be able to own weapons in defense of themselves and as a defense against tyranny from the state. They do not believe in it. And everything that they say other than that is just incrementalism to that same end, trying to take guns out of the hands of people who are law-abiding and who do nothing wrong, not only with those firearms, nothing wrong in general. But first, let's get to the facts as we know them, the details of this case. This is the Boulder Police Chief, Maris Harold, earlier today, play 19.
40 p.m. on Monday, regarding the suspect. At approximately 2:40 p.m. on Monday, March 22nd, officers were dispatched to King Soopers on Table Mesa Drive. Officers arrived on the scene within minutes and immediately entered the store and engaged the suspect. There was this exchange of gunfire, which the suspect was shot. No other officers were injured. The suspect was taken into custody at 3:28 p.m. He was transported to the hospital for treatment, now in stable condition. This suspect has been identified as Ahmad Al Issa, 21 of Arvada. He has been charged with 10 counts of murder in the first degree and will be shortly transported to Boulder County Jail.
10 counts of murder in the first degree. Is this an act of terror? I saw people insisting that it was before we knew anything about the shooter. I saw Democrats leaping on this as an opportunity to push an agenda that this is somehow tied to Trump. Everything that is awful. These people are mentally, absolutely committed to the notion that anything that is awful and terrible and bad can be put on Donald Trump. He's the ultimate boogeyman, and they won't let it go. This has nothing to do with Trump, and no intelligent, honest person would say otherwise, but they were. It was all over the internet last night, all over the commentariat, the commentators on the left. That's what they were saying. That's what they were telling people. And we now know that the individual, Ahmad, I've seen it said and spelled two different ways, but his first name is Ahmad. There's a good chance that what they're saying is Al Issa, maybe an alternative spelling, but it's Ahmad Al Issa. We don't know anything about this man, about his mental health, as I speak to you now. And this is going to be rapidly evolving and changing. We're going to learn about the social media footprint. We're going to learn about what his neighbors and friends said. All those things are going to come in. But one thing you have to understand is that the people that try to exploit this before they know anything, who seize upon emotion, who call the NRA a terrorist organization, that was done yesterday, who say the NRA should be treated like a crime family ordering murders. And the people that say this insane stuff, when the facts actually come out, if the facts largely or entirely contradict the initial narrative, they're not sorry. They're not even embarrassed. That's the point. This is about the exercise of raw power. This is about exploiting emotions. This is about getting people angry at the other so that you can get the angry people to do and believe what you want them to. The same way I've told people that you have to have a different understanding of hypocrisy. The left does not care about being hypocritical. When they have power, they use it. When they can enforce different standards, they will, just like all autocrats, just like all dictatorial regimes. They don't shy away from this. They don't view it as a problem. They don't care. They just do it because they can, because they get away with it. The same thing is true about the immediate exploitation of a mass shooting like this. They view it as an opportunity for a political agenda and also to exercise some of their disdain for the other side. Use it as an excuse to scream abuse at people who they disagree with politically on other things that have nothing to do with the actual shooting itself. So they're not sorry about this. They don't view this as a moment where they should be more honest or they should do some introspection. No. When a MSNBC watching, New York Times reading lib screams at you online and says, see, another white supremacist Trump supporter shot up a bunch of people in Boulder, Colorado, and there's no evidence to support that, and we don't have any reasonable connection between these things based on the facts at hand, and then even when they're proven to be untrue, they don't care because they enjoyed disparaging you. They enjoyed those moments in time when they felt really righteous, really virtuous for trashing you, for trashing the millions and millions of Americans who own firearms legally across the country and who are a bulwark against tyranny. And let me say, a tyranny from the government that we increasingly should take very seriously. Okay, freedom is at the lowest ebb in this country in my lifetime. That's a fact. Worse than it was after 9/11 with some of the overreaches and some of the government actions there, at least domestically. I'm talking about internally. The worst place freedom's been in my lifetime. So that's going on 40 years. And the Democrats are set on doing everything they can while they can to make sure that you do not have the right to bear arms. They're going as far on this as they possibly can, as far as they can get away with it. This is why I get so frustrated, because the people that spent 4 years calling for a need for greater honesty from, let's say, Donald Trump, they come into office, the Biden administration, it's just lies all over the place, constantly lying to you, lying about their intentions, lying about the numbers at the border. Oh, we'll get into that. Lying about a lot of things that matter to you. Okay, not lying about a crowd size or the size of one's hands, or lying about all the things that they were completely apoplectic about in the media when Trump was president. Not lying about irrelevancies, not lying about personal peccadillos or whatever. No, lying about policy in ways that affect your life. This is central to what the Democrats do. It's central to their whole approach. And we go through this. And I heard Senator Ted Cruz talking about it. The same thing every time. The NRA is a terrorist organization. They trot out some victims of other shootings or people who were near victims of other shootings, Hogg and others. And they try to get somebody deplatformed who defends the Second Amendment. They try to scare some Republican members of Congress into abandoning the Second Amendment. And this is the push-pull every time. Doesn't matter. that the policies they propose wouldn't actually make anyone safer. It doesn't matter. It's about control and about them getting their way. Deal with it. That's what they really think. Here's Senator Ted Cruz talking about exactly this. Play 21.
And every time there's a shooting, we play this ridiculous theater where this committee gets together and proposes a bunch of laws that would do nothing to stop these murders. Senator from Connecticut just said the folks on the other side of the aisle have no solutions. Well, the senator from Connecticut knows that is false. And he knows that's false because Senator Grassley and I together introduced legislation, Grassley-Cruz, targeted at violent criminals, targeted at felons, targeted at fugitives, targeted at those with serious mental disease, to stop them from getting firearms, to put them in prison when they try to illegally buy guns. What happens in this committee after every mass shooting is Democrats propose taking away guns from law-abiding citizens because that's their political objective. But what they propose, not only does it not reduce crime, it makes it worse.
It makes it worse. Here's another point I want to make for all of you. A lot of them know that, and they don't care. This is about control. This is about power. People are upset. They're scared. They're emotional. Democrats see those things. They recognize those realities, and it's an opportunity for them. Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.